What's going on? Welcome into TFE's podcast. Dalen, I have a lot of TFEs off the top.
Okay, right in it. No introduction, not your name, not my name, right into it. Go.
I said your name.
Well, no full names required. If you're listening, you know us. Go ahead, girl.
Thoughts, feelings, emotions off the top. I always come to you, but I feel like I have a lot right now.
Okay.
And they're mostly good. I think, and you're gonna like the first one when it comes to thoughts, because I was just, as we were getting ready, I was just thinking, I'm really grateful for you.
Oh, you're sweet.
I'm not trying to be sweet. I am. I know that like we've traveled a lot and we've still been sick and all these other things have been going on. And I feel so much gratitude for the like balance that we have in our lives between the two of us. I feel like you have a way of being like the calm to my chaos, and I'm grateful to have found that. And then we've talked before about how we operate in chaos. So my thoughts are just like, I'm grateful for you in the midst of all the craziness of this season. My feelings are, I probably scattered a little bit. I'm really excited that the holidays are so close and excited to go home and see my family, and, excited for Christmas with you and the kids and just what that will look like. I'm always anxious about a million different things.
Yeah, let's do it.
This anxiety, just living with this little anxiety guy, the little orange guy. But I feel like I'm kind of balancing that too a little bit. Like, just like, okay, you're there. You are what you are. You might not go away. Like, how do I live with that? You know?
Yeah.
And not let it be bigger than what it is. My emotions are, holy shit, it's almost Christmas. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Like, how did this happen? Like, we're a week away. We just got back. We're about to travel again. Got to see your family, which was really fun and special and just meaningful to especially get to see Dace with your mom and her husband and them getting to love on him, and to see your brothers and their family and the kids interacting. It's so special to have family and to have time with family, especially when you don't have it all the time.
Yeah.
But the next thought of that is like, oh my God, Christmas is coming.
Yeah. You look a little worried right there as you stop. I'm like, did you freeze?
No, I'm just like,
glitching
how did
Matrix?
this happen?
That's kind of where I'm at right now. Like my thoughts, I guess, are a bit just. Well, first of all, I'm gonna say thank you for saying such kind things about me. Sometimes I don't understand what you see sometimes, because your boy's not always being the best version of himself, especially when we're traveling and different, debacles happen. You know how we handle all that. Sometimes I don't.
You mean like waking up at 4 a.m. to a flight being canceled?
Yeah, that wasn't ideal. And then having to fly to a different airport.
And our cars in New York.
Yeah, it was all those things, and really the drive to the airport. There were a number of times I think I probably handled things better. Southwest, fuck. Oh, sorry, I don't want to occur. Freaking hate you. Second time I've taken a non-Delta flight in the last 9 years just reinforces don't do that unless it's absolutely have to.
But we have to take accountability. It was kind of our fault.
Yo, there's something to be said for like we are rushing to go through the check bag situation. Our one bag is 10 pounds over. Bear in mind too, they don't do this in Delta. They stack them next to you until you're complete, and they throw them over there.
Exactly.
This bozo's just tossing them on the thing. So if we're over, we could put stuff in those other bags, but he's just lobbing. I'm not paying attention. So yes, there's some accountability there. But then if it's 52.5 pounds and we can't, that's not acceptable to the 50-pound weight limit. I get there are rules. Sometimes there's exceptions. We got a crying kid right there.
That's my thing.
We're
I'm
in a rush.
Baby, just let us go.
What is your deal? And what is this 2.5 pounds? But no, out on Southwest. We sat next to the sweetest lady of all time, though.
I thought the flight itself was good. The rest of the people were very nice. I actually didn't mind the cattle call, probably just because we were in family boarding.
That was huge. Yeah, family boarding was big, and that lady was really nice. When we sat down, I just said sorry right away. Felt terrible because I'm like,
she was great.
But she was a grandma. She was lovely. Dace was good. I digress. So thank you for the kind words you say about me. I feel the same way, that you make me better in every way, which I think is really, really important. And you also give me a different perspective. We are very different people, as we said before. So I think your perspective helps me a lot of times. So my thoughts are somewhat around, and they're kind of combined. Like, yes, we have Christmas is 8 days away.
Today is the 17th.
Yo, man, it's my thoughts and feelings and emotions are all kind of tied up. I feel like I'm like sad. I feel like we've missed the Christmas time. I feel like there's been so much happening, and I think back to last year, and I felt like we had a lot of nights where it was just, and granted, your schedule was different. You were working in the mornings, but we had nights where me, you, and Lyra are watching Christmas shows or Christmas movies and hanging out, put her to bed, then I'll watch basketball games later. Like, we found ways to just kind of spend time and do different things. We'll go see the lights and go to the, like, I felt like we had more time together. I mean, Lyra's been sick, so that affected some of our time with her. Like, there's just different things that I feel like we're missing it a little bit. I feel like I'm longing for. I want it to feel more like Christmas. It doesn't feel like it because we're kind of in this like, it is the chaos, and I feel like I want it to slow down, and I want to enjoy our time together. But it's just there's not that much of it. I even said to you this morning, I won't go see this light. This house is awesome in Fairfield where we live. That they just deck this house out with all these lights and different stuff. And Lyra loves it.
It's not even just lights. It's like
installations. Like, there's stuff. Stuff.
You go
built.
in like
there's
the
lights.
front room and there's like Christmas houses and snowmen and manger scenes, and you go in the backyard and it's like you're wandering through a winter wonderland.
Wonderland. I was like, is she gonna go there? Let's do it. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But I was like, we don't have a night to go where you're not working and we have Lyra. I'm like, and we didn't
have a night for anything. Like, when I looked at the calendar in November and we were like trying to find a weekend, or not even a weekend, a day to like go have dinner with, some friends. It's like, okay, how about the new year?
The new year in January, maybe we'll have more time. That's the crazy part. So like, I guess my thoughts are like, wow, yes, just like you. Oh man, Christmas is right here. Like, some things I want to do for my family and for us still that have to be done. But that feeling of, and it just doesn't, I feel like we're missing it. And I'm kind of like, not bummed. I'm a little bummed about that. I'm trying to figure out, okay, how do we maximize that? How do we maximize our time together? Which is just being together and doing things that like feel fun. We made Christmas cookies once. That felt cool. That was good.
We went to the North Pole.
We went to the North Pole. That's right. We were doing some things, but I do love the things where we're just like sitting on the couch, like just spending the time together. Like we're missing some of that. So my emotions, I feel like I'm like a little bit wistful of that feeling, but it's not here yet. We still got more days and more things to do, and hopefully there's more time to sit and to be. Would be good.
Was that it? Was that your emotions?
I thought it was wistful. Yeah.
Okay,
I feel like that's,
so you're on both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think the holidays are always like kind of nostalgic and are like full of happiness, and then also sometimes some like complicated feelings at the same time, especially, depending on where you're at in your life. We've talked about it before, and any kind of like milestone, I feel like, ends up being a measurement of, is this where I thought my life would be? Is this how I thought it would be? Did I do what I said I was going to do? What don't I have that I thought I would have? And, if you're not meeting your measurements that you set for yourself, then that's really, an easy way to get down as well. I think we've probably talked about it on here, but my favorite quote is, comparison is the thief of joy. Yeah. And I feel like around the holidays, it's so easy to compare too. Like, oh, look at this holiday party that they're going to or that they're hosting. Oh, look at this cute family and their little Christmas card. They must be so happy. Oh, look what they do Christmas morning. Oh, look how they travel and spend their holidays. And it makes you, when you're looking outward, then I feel like we lose some of what we have. And maybe that's what we're doing here a little bit, as you say, wistful. I know you're thinking of experiences that we've had in the past, but you're still comparing this year to last year. Yeah, I'm just, speaking it out loud of like, okay, what haven't we done? Okay, well, what have we done, or what are we going to do? We don't have Lyra this Christmas, which is going to be really hard, but good old Santa Claus said he would start his North Pole trip here a night early. And so we're doing Christmas on Christmas Eve. And so I think that's going to be really fun, that'll be our Christmas morning as well with her and Dace. But the comparison is really hard, especially I feel like around the holidays, because like, how do you not do it? It's everywhere. Everybody's life is everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you, and I think that's something that I think we, as a society, have a problem with, and all of us suffer from it at different times. And looking at different things, like whether usually social media or talking to people, there is that, oh, I wish I could do that, or I wish you could do this, or I want it to be this way. And I do think this part of the year is very much like a measuring stick. Personally, I think we've talked about that a little bit before on the pod. What I feel like I end up doing sometimes around this time of year, I mean, I feel like this has been the last couple of years. It's been way more introspective because it's a marker of time, and you look at the pictures and you look back and you think about Christmas as a past, family, friends, our life, and like it provides a natural moment and toward the end of the year to give like that retrospective look on life. And some of it is assessing where are we, where do you want to be. Some of it's just thinking about, for me now, if it's gotten like really morbid, but I feel like I think about mortality a lot now around it, and I don't know if I ever did that before my dad passed. Like, I don't remember. Now, granted, I was much younger. I was 27. I just don't remember thinking about that or thinking about life. And we had the last Christmas we had with him. Never in my life would I have thought would that have been the last Christmas we had with him. He was gone in July. He got sick in March, and it's just never crossed my mind. And I feel like since then, obviously the first Christmas without him is really hard. And then you kind of go through it and think about life. And now I've thought about more about my mom and other people we care about. Your grandparents are 96 and 95. Like,
And 97.
97 now, Jesus, my God. So do you take stock of things? Like, I mean, it's sad. It's like it's not the most pleasant topic, but I do find myself like contemplating our mortality, family's mortality, and like thinking even like I was sitting there looking at Leah yesterday. I don't know why my brain went this. Like, what is Christmas going to be like when when she's grown up? Like, what's that going to look like for us? Like, and I don't know why I'm just staring at her thinking about that. But anyway, I can get in. I don't know if it's as much a funk because I don't feel great about it, but I feel like it's a little bit of necessary evil just to give like a little bit of taking stock of life. And sometimes I end up coming away grateful that, who we have in our lives and try to maximize that time with them and maximize that time spent. Thought about that a bit with my mom last week. Like, you never know. I hope that's not the case, obviously, but we don't see her again for a couple months, and we saw her right around Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, obviously, I think especially when you spend time with people who are older, you not cherish it more, but you just I think are more aware of you never know how many of these you have.
Yeah.
How many more? And hopefully it's way more than we could ever imagine with the people that we love. But that definitely has that effect. And I want to answer your question about my grandparents in a second, because something you said about your dad, and you didn't really think about it before then. And we've talked about this before, just in general, because I don't think that just affects you around the holidays. I think it affects you in a lot of different ways. I mean, it definitely affects you when we talk about like how many more kids, and you joke about like, you being older, having kids. But I think the real part of that is putting yourself in the position of, okay, like you just said, you were 27 when your dad passed, and you know how hard that was and how hard it's been to not have him here. And I feel like there's a part of you, and you correct me if I'm wrong or add color to anything I'm saying. There's a part of you that like that push about, kids or life or anything comes from that fear of, and that reality of knowing like life doesn't go on forever.
I guess that's right. Yeah. I mean, I definitely, when it comes to, I'm the age now when he had me. So like that always feels weird. And I think we've talked about that too. Like, I do think that that's a real thing for me, and it does. I don't maybe assess it in the moment always, understanding why that I feel that way. But yeah, like there's no way to they're like inextricably linked, like to think about him not being here and where am I in my life right now, and how will Lyra and Dace, and if there's another kid or two, how they live in when I'm gone. Like that's the it's never obviously anytime you lose a parent, it changes you, and I think that's losing him at the age and in the manner in which it happened like changed me and how I view life and how I want to operate my life, I guess. But you can't control these things, but I do think it obviously affected me in that way.
Yeah.
I want real quick, just around this time of year though too, because I think my mom, like being at my mom's last week, like even her going through those, it was cool. I came home from playing golf and you guys were doing some of the Christmas tree stuff, and part of what like washed over me is I don't think you were thinking I was taking assessment of this as I was sitting in the kitchen having my lunch, listening to you guys, was just it is how fast life goes. Like we were going through ornaments in like just putting them up and talking about them. 40 years. Like that's what that is.
It's from 1983. It's from 1986.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
it says 1992.
And I remember like making that thing, the one that says Dalen 1990, a little Christmas tree that's been up there for since I was 7. That was like first grade, where Lyra is right now. Like I was thinking about that, like the full circle nature of it to be like, and I think that was maybe part of why I was looking at Lyra the other day, thinking about, geez, like what's this going to be like? Because it's not like it's slowing down. Like it just continues to roll by quickly, more and more quickly. And that's where I think obviously there have to be moments where you take that retrospective thought and take that pause and kind of think about it. And that's where I guess I end up at times, like I said at the beginning, like around Christmas, but a lot of times it's around mortality, which is, I love this time of year. And I do think I have a good energy and I'm positive about it. But there are those moments when you have the quiet time or have a time to think about it that I end up in these spots and thinking about. And I do think back to, going to my grandma and grandpa's house, and Grandpa just sitting there we just called him Scrooge, just being not the most pleasant dude, just sitting there cutting slices of capicola on the kitchen table, just talking, eating that, watching the chaos run around him, and make snide comments about it. This is my mom's dad. But even I like those things. I always remember. Think back, whether it's necessarily a positive memory or a negative memory, like it's always there.
Yeah. When I was doing the Christmas stuff with your mom and we were decorating the tree, I was thinking about those things too. And I was thinking of it more from a parent's perspective of like, I mean, it was making me a little emotional then and it'll make me a little emotional now, but just, you don't realize how, like, how special it's going to be a parent, and I can't fully understand the pride that your mom feels and the emotions and memories that flood back when you're looking through those things. But we're going through all these things, and they're ornaments with your baby, y'all, all 5 kids, the baby pictures, there's ornaments that you guys have all made. And just looking back, here's this like little tree that is just this symbol of like a family and a life, and all of these memories, and some of them hard. Your dad's ornament, she said put that at the top because Dennis needs to go at the front and the top. It was just symbolic and sweet of I can't imagine what it's like to get to live a life that is that full and that meaningful. And obviously they're just ornaments, they're just symbols, but to like get to see all of those things and think back on those special times. And I've said to your mom before, when we still haven't shared some of when Dace was sick this year, what happened, but when I was on the phone with her after that, I shared with her, like, you just never stop worrying. She's like, no, mine are, in their 40s and their 50s, and you never stop worrying. You never, they're always your babies. And so I think looking at all those pictures with her and seeing that just was like a little emotional, just thinking like, man, you don't love them any differently just because they grow up. Like, you love them more and you want to be there. You just have to like love them and let go. So that was hard and sweet, to kind of experience that with her.
Well, I'm glad you guys got to have that time. That was cool because I mean, she wants to share that with you. Like, she loves you, and she tells me all the time how happy she is that I found you, that we found each other. And ironically, we were staring each other at the face too. For a couple of years, we were staring each other in the face for a couple of years and not caring for one another. But yeah, I mean, she's sharing, like, that's like sharing her life and her memory. Like, those are, and they are symbols, but like, those are all symbols that her kids made over the years, and then the grandkids made. And it's like, that tree encapsulates her life. Like, that is what was different about, like, we have some of those ornaments downstairs, and some you made with Dace and Lyra last year, and I'm sure Lyra will make some as she gets old. Like, we'll create some of that, but ours still are there. I mean, there's a symbol of like our life and our story is not written. Like, there's all these random bulbs down there that look pretty, but they don't mean anything to us. The time spent decorating the tree means something to us, and some of them mean stuff to us. but by and large, they're just decorations.
Mm-hmm.
Like hers is a symbol of a life well lived.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a full life and a tree full of memories and love and laughter and sadness and loss, all encapsulated in this little 5.5-foot tree that she put up. But
Mm-hmm.
that's and I was really happy that you got to share that with her, and I got to be there for part of it and talk to her about some of them. And yeah, it's just it's interesting, like this time of year, and I'm sure she didn't think that in the moment. Like she wanted somebody to help. She wanted Kelsey to help her put up the tree.
Well,
I don't know if
did-
she
I
thought
mean,
about it at first, but when she told me, she's like, that was really special to spend that time with her. She told me that later. I'm like, I thought that was awesome. I said, yeah, it was great to see you guys do that. And she felt like she was able to share stuff with you and take a little bit of a journey with you that she hadn't before.
Yeah, it was really special. I told her as we were doing it, I was like, decorating for Christmas is so much more fun when you're doing it with someone.
Mm-hmm.
And she would have done it with Fred. They would have done it together. Obviously, she's not alone. But I told her when we were doing it, I thought back to a couple of years ago, and I actually sent this picture to my friend because it showed up recently. My friend Kat just had her first baby, almost a year to the day after her first anniversary. She had her just a few days before her anniversary, I believe. Anyways, I was living in Charlotte, and Kat and I were both single. And it was Christmas time, and Christmas time is hard when you're single. Even if you have this awesome family and this awesome life and this awesome friend groups, like you just want somebody to share it with. I feel like it elevates and heightens the feelings of, man, like I don't have someone to just do life with. Mm-hmm. And Kat and I were like, let's decorate for Christmas together. So we went out, we got a tree, put it on the top of my car, went back to my house, had wine and turned on Christmas music and just danced and hung out and decorated the tree. And it was so special. And I just think back to that because it was still heavy because we were both still like, yeah, we wish we were, doing this with our life partner. We wish that, we had this, but to get to at least like do it with somebody that you love and have that versus just decorating just because it's Christmas and we need to do it. That was what was special about getting to do that with your mom. She was going to put the tree up either way. But getting to share that experience with her and, like you said, kind of go through some of those memories was really cool. So I'm glad we got to do that.
I think my perspective on it really has changed. I mentioned my dad passing, and then the other big moment for me is obviously like going through the beginning of separation, eventually divorce. Like that first Christmas was like 6-7 weeks after we first were separated. Like you're sitting there by yourself and wondering like what's like, you talk about taking stock of your life, being like, what have I done? What's going to happen? Where am I going to go? And then there was real sadness and like a bit of a despair, and didn't get to see Lyra. I'm not going to get into all these reasons why, but like just being there by yourself, and not even my house, in my friend's house, because they let me stay there, was just like look itself in the mirror and be like, what is this? Like, what did you do? What has happened? Where are you going? Why are you doing this? And like began the therapeutic journey, right after the turn of the new year, and I started to work on myself and try to understand things. And it was crazy how much different life looks now. Like that was 4 years ago. It feels like a different lifetime ago. Mm-hmm. And I do think when I think back before that was, decorating the tree was not something I was excited about, we going to see lights and stuff. Like I didn't think I like took part in the season. I enjoyed the food, the family part of it, and the time off, honestly, and probably the alcohol consumption too. Like just to hang, like to be merry, around material things, honestly, like things that like, and somewhat family for sure, but it wasn't. I wasn't ecstatic to share that with my partner at the time, and even when Lyra was little, it's like, well, she doesn't really understand yet. I didn't have the same feeling. It's hard to explain. I do think going through therapy and like really thinking about gratitude and loss and love and family, and when something like that, you think it's what it's supposed to be, then it's gone. Mm-hmm. And then you find the right person and start to build the life you thought you'd have. Mm-hmm. Is that full journey, I think, gives me a much different perspective now. Like that's part of why I like doing the nothingness with Lyra, or why I remember making Christmas cookies 5 or 6 years ago. Not something I really wanted to take part in. Like, it was a very different experience. Now I'm the one being like, we should make Christmas cookies. And I'm looking up the recipe and I want to do it. And you're like, okay, let's do this. And like,
My little baker.
well, I'm a decent baker, better cook. But there was this like full journey through that. And I think a lot of times you can't, if you don't look at things with gratitude, we talk about it all the time in the podcast, you can't, it's an unfulfilled way to live. Like, you gotta appreciate what you have and be grateful for what you have, knowing that may not be everything that you want. Mm-hmm. And I do think that understanding now, like, I feel like so much of when we get through any type of milestone or season or whatever, there's like that time to take stock, look around, and be very grateful for where we're at. And I don't think, for me, I kind of need the lows to appreciate the highs and appreciate mediums, if you will, or different lows that aren't as low as that was. You know, that was a very different feeling in there that always, I think, you know, is there, or it's in my, like that. I'm remembering what that was like, and then comparing to what we are now. You mentioned comparison before, can also be positive, to be like, look at hopefully the growth, the difference, the love, all the things you wanted to happen and try to manifest in life have happened by and large, and mainly because of you, partially because of some, like, just doing some self work on myself to understand like what was really important and how to value those things.
Yeah, you've had some really hard Christmases, and I think it gives you even more perspective. I've had Christmases after loss, after losing my grandmother and grandfather on my dad's side, and my uncle and cousin and other family members, and friends, but not as, you know, intimate as losing a parent, or, you know, spending Christmas alone. So that's really hard. And so I do think that gives you a different, like, perspective and appreciation for it too. You asked earlier about my grandparents, and kind of, do I look at things that way too? And you won't be surprised to know that, of course, I do. You know, I remember Christmas at my house is crazy growing up.
Okay.
I
can't wait.
You're going to get to live it. You're a slightly different version of it all. Because when we were kids, on my dad's side of the family, we were the only kids. So Christmas morning, we would wake up and we would be able to go peek out, and we could see our stockings and we could see our presents and we could see what was there. But we were waiting for our aunts, uncle, and grandparents and cousin to come over before we opened it. So it was like, hey, they're awake. Get over here.
That's hellacious for little kids, by the way. How long we talking this wait was?
It depended. I mean, if I actually don't know, because it felt like 10 hours, obviously, because you wanted to go in there. So mom and dad would bring our stockings back into their bedroom, and we would get to open those and see the first toys and things like that. And usually they would be there pretty soon. We would open presents, then we would have breakfast, and then we would go to one of those aunts' house and do like a lunch over there. And then we would go to my mom's side of the family for dinner, do Christmas dinner, and then do a gift exchange. At each house we would do a gift exchange. Now, my mom's side of the family, I'm one of like 22 grandkids, and it keeps going on and on from there. So that was like pure, just fun chaos. But on my dad's side, in the morning before, I guess especially when we got older, maybe when we were younger, my grandfather, granddaddy, he would always read the Bible. He would read, you know, the story of Christmas. And so as he got older, we started recording that. And I always remember just being like, how many more times do we have with this? Yeah. And like, is this the last time that we get to do this? And then with Mama and Papa, same thing. Papa would read the Bible. And I have videos from every year that I've been there of Papa reading, and we're all sitting in their bigger living room, not the side one that they're usually in when we're there. You know, all 50 plus of us in that one room. Wow. And overflowing into the kitchen and the hallway and everything, and just everybody gathered around. And I have videos, just, you know, videoing the whole room and hearing Papa and videoing him. They basically, Mama and Papa still get the grandkids gifts. And then Papa looks under the tree. He, oh, Hayden, this one's for you. Oh, Ellison, this is for you. and he passes them out. And everybody just sits and enjoys it. And then we do the gift exchange with the older, people. And we do like a male gift exchange and a female gift exchange. So the men do one and the women do one. We need to get toys. I mean, not toys. We need to get gifts for that, by the way.
Excellent.
Yeah. No, as we're sitting here talking. But every year that I've gotten to do it, and last year, I shared, obviously, I was so happy to be here. It was hard, though, because it was like the first time that I wasn't going to be there for that. And every time you wonder, like, is this the last time? As you said, Papa's 97. Meme will be 97 in January. And so I feel like I always am emotional as that's happening. But it's like from a place of gratitude, too, of just like, how lucky are we that we get to sit in this room like surrounded by love with these grandparents that get to look around and say, like, look what I did. Mm-hmm. I created this family. I created all this love, space and faith, and, the pride that I'm sure that they must feel, and the pride that we feel getting to be and experience that is so special. And so, the holidays make me emotional too. I don't think it makes me like as I sit here crying, I'm like, I don't think it makes me as like down in the dumps. It's still like a happy cry because it is. It's just, I know that, I've always said, like, my family's not for everybody. Like, we love really hard. We are close. I talk to my mom and dad at least once a day. My sisters, same thing, texting. And that goes on to my aunts, my cousins, and everything. Everybody in our family tells them that they love each other. My male cousins are going to tell us that they love us. We, as the girls all do, like, we are a family that is like, affectionate and loving and attached, and probably too much for a lot of people. But if we're not for you, then goodbye. See you later.
I don't know why we do this pot without tissues right here.
I know. I'm crazy.
Yeah, great. I mean, it's anticipated. I would say your family is absolutely that. It's the group chat
is what, a lot?
Well, no, it's love and a lot. The group chat's not for everyone. As me and Max were joking about the other day. Like, I'll chime in, and I think my goal is usually to make Max laugh. That's pretty much the intention most times. My brother-in-law. Yeah. I do think it's like getting to know your family has been a great joy, and it's hard to put into words how welcoming they are. Like, this open arms and love, and how, like, come on in and let's welcome you and Lyra to be part of our family. And you guys do love hard, and you actually say I love you more than our family doesn't do that. Just welcome, like, that's not like a very common thing. Like, you got to be around for a while to get some I love you. So like, you guys operate differently in that regard. I know Lyra loves it, and I think I'm very grateful to be part of a family that feels that way and exposes her to that, because our nuclear family is that way. My family growing up was not that way. It was very different. But you made me think of something that's not to take a hard left, but do you remember, because first of all, your parents not allowing you guys to leave the room is just...
No, we could leave the room. Kids. We would just go down the little hallway and we would like.
But if you can do that, you can't go down. Like our family, we would walk down, see Santa came, run in, wake up mom and dad up, and we are down there. And that's the thing. Now, when we was real little, we'd go to my grandma's house. We would do it all there. Santa came to grandma's house. Do you remember the time? Do you remember, like, first of all, Chandler's 7 years younger than you. Like, how long did you obviously kept up the ruse? I have 2 younger siblings as well. But do you remember the first Christmas where you knew there was no, if anybody's listening to the car with a kid, stay ready. Maybe
actually don't stay ready. Turn it off.
Turn it off now. Turn it off now.
To do something I don't approve of.
Sorry. Yes. Shut it down right now. 3, 2, 1. Okay. When there was no Santa, do you remember that? And what was that? Would you remember what that felt like? Do you recall when there was like you were, let me answer my own question. I felt like I was a little bit of a rite of passage there too. I felt like I was welcomed into adulthood in some regard, that I now was with the adults on Christmas Eve. I didn't have to go to bed. I wasn't shunned away. I was now part of the team, and I was in on it.
Mm-hmm. My mom always said, well, when you stop believing in Santa, he doesn't come anymore. So I still believe in Santa. He still comes.
Okay.
He's great. He's a great guy.
Great guy.
Great guy for coming to our house early. But she did. She always said that. I don't have a set memory of like having that conversation or asking. I remember one night, Christmas Eve, going to bed, and I remember hearing mom and dad wrapping presents and thinking, oh God, no. Is it them?
Oh.
Is it not Santa?
Oh,
like,
wow.
is it them? And they could have very well just been wrapping their presents to us. I don't know. But I remember laying in bed being like, go back to sleep, go back to sleep, go back to sleep. Don't hear that. You don't hear that. And just like not wanting to like face that reality. Chandler's 7 years younger than me, as you mentioned. So I think we probably got a few good years of that. And then I think we just kind of evolved. But, my memory is that of an elephant, so I'd have to ask my mom if there was.
No, elephants never forget, Kels. You always forget.
See,
so I don't know
is that
what your
of a
memory
squirrel?
Is. Yeah, that works. That works better. Yes, that's the animal you're looking for, or anything that has no memory.
Nailed it.
Yeah, that was. What's funny is like I remember that. I think that may have been the last Christmas where my grandpa was alive, and I remember sitting like because then my grandma and grandpa would come over to our house for Christmas Eve. We go to Christmas Eve mass, come back from that. And usually once we came back from that, it was time to go, kids in bed, Santa's got to come, blah, blah, blah. I remember sitting there with them and thinking like, as my mom was getting stuff ready, and again, grandpa was sitting at the kitchen table. In our house, we lived there. You could see the kitchen table from the living room. And I think Devin was sitting there. Derek was probably up in his room. And it just was like, I almost felt sad. It had felt like the magic, it's gone. And it was like, yeah, I'm excited to get my gifts tomorrow. But this is not what this feels weird because usually I'm upstairs too, beaming with anticipation, so excited. But now it's like, all right, I'm just hanging out down here. And this is what you guys do?
Yeah.
Like your grandpa's he's having a snack. Dad's watching TV, maybe a Christmas story. I don't recall. It just felt flat. And it felt like, I remember being like, this is weird. Like this is what the adults do.
Yeah.
Okay. This is not that fun. The other stuff was a little more fun.
I don't have a memory of that transition, but excuse me. But
I will. A memory of last week. But go ahead.
But I will say something that I have loved as an adult when I was still home and before we had kids and before you and all of these things was being home on Christmas Eve and wrapping presents with my mom and my sisters. And there's no one to surprise in the morning. We're just like surprising each other and like sometimes not surprising each other because we say what we want. It's like, no, you wrap in here. No, you do this. And then we're all doing it together. And if we would have a glass of wine or something and get a little giggly, there's just so many moments that I remember over the last couple years that I was still home for Christmas, of like how fun Christmas Eve was. And we would go to church first. They do a live manger scene, a live nativity scene, not with the animals. The animals are fake.
Oh, wow.
But the people are real. Man, was it a pleasure and a joy and an honor to get to be Mary when I was younger.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Did anybody lick you like Dace licked the Mary and Joseph downstairs yesterday? What a creep.
So we're trying to obviously teach the kids the meaning of Christmas and talk a little bit about, we have the manger scene, a couple of them up in our house. And Dace is picking up on a lot lately and trying to like start saying words. And so I'm like, this is baby Jesus and this is Mary and Joseph. And just like say a little bit about the basics of the story. And Jesus loves you and Jesus came to... Anyways, so now he points over and goes, baby Jesus, Mary, Joe. Or you ask him and he does it. Yesterday, my guy was just loving on them. He picked up this one in particular is just like a massive wood one that's carved. I guess it's not really wood, but whatever. Looks like wood. Carved. I've never seen Dace French kiss anything.
When French it, he just licked it head to toe. I mean, it wasn't
just like a lick. It was like, I'm gonna kiss you, but here's my tongue. And I was like, what is?
You do know a video of this? Just recorded you of that. But go ahead, looked great.
We're gonna put it side by side with him, and it's probably gonna be pretty accurate because he had done it once before, and that's why I was like, why is he kissing it like this? I gotta record this, and of course he did it again, and I had to send it to the whole family group chat.
Clearly.
No, nobody licked me when I was Mary or I remember being the angel too. There's a good costume of me being the angel. That was a pretty big day too. I've played a few shepherds and wise men as well. Wasn't as excited about that.
We talked about your acting career earlier. You're a big time actor. I didn't know that till.
Well, that's a live manger scene. You don't move. You just stand there.
But it's still acting. You still got to be in character.
I'm just saying.
How many hours did you sit there and not move, by the way?
No, so basically you do the church service, and then the kids come down the middle aisle and stand in front of the congregation. Everybody sings a song together. Everybody gets the candles, and from one light you light all of the candles in the church. And then the manger scene goes outside and stands in the manger, and then the church comes outside and sings a couple of hymns, and then you go inside. But yeah, you're supposed to like hold still. And I always wanted there to be a real baby that I got to hold. I always wanted a baby.
That'd been problematic.
I always wanted a baby.
Well, you have one now that licks Joseph and Mary. It's great. Can I tell you randomly one of my favorite Christmas memories from Mass? We're in the religious piece of it here. So I was probably like, I don't know, 10 or 11, and we go to church, like I said, usually Christmas Eve Mass. So we go to Mass, and it's Pittsburgh. It's obviously cold. We're all in our jackets and stuff. And Christmas, we always dress. Everybody had to wear suit and tie for Christmas Eve Mass, like that and Easter Mass. We would go every week, but that was we are dressing up. It's Christmas Eve. It's not dressing up. We are dressing appropriately for the holiday. So Dad wears a suit, obviously, and all those boys are in suits. Dana's in a dress. Mom's in a dress. We and my grandma and grandpa there. We're going 9 deep through a pew, and when we roll through our town in Pittsburgh, like everybody knew us where we lived, and you've got this large mixed family rolling in 1991 probably with this whole crew. But we were there. It was part of our parish. It was not abnormal, but we tend to run in late. And we're running deep with a lot of people. We scurry in. We're towards the back. We sit down. Dad never takes his trench coat off. He's just sitting in it. He always wore a trench coat in the winter. And we're sitting there. I think probably took my jacket off, whatever. All the kids are sitting there. I'm sitting next to him. My mom's like 2 seats down. And for those that are not in a Catholic Mass, they're not always the most entertaining things. Okay? There's not a lot of energy. There's a lot of up and down. They're down on your knees. Now you're standing. Peace be with you. All the different stuff. Blah, blah, blah. So the sermon is being given. It's usually about 20 minutes. We're all sitting there. And I happen to hear like a snoring noise. I look over. Dad's racked out. My mom hears. Mom was, wake him up. She's furious. I was like, okay. And I just gave him one of these, and he yanked his body real tight, and you heard a rip sound. And I'm like, what the hell just happened there? He goes, he looks so weird. I'm like, okay, what happened? He didn't say anything. We just go through Mass. We're about to stand up to leave. I think again, trench coat still on. He leans down and goes, I think I split my pants when you woke me up. I said, what? He's like, I think my pants are ripped all the way down the back seam. I was like, wow, okay. So he's walking out with a trench coat. As we start going outside, he's like, yep, it's cold out here. It's real chilly out here. It was windy. It was a cold night. I'm cracking up. I told Devin. He knew what was going on. Mom then hears. Mom's like, what is so funny? What is so funny? I was like, Dad split his pants. When I woke him up. He deserves it. So she's mad at him because he fell asleep, and she now feels embarrassed that if anybody saw that. And again, everybody in town knows who we are. So like, Dennis Cuff fell asleep in Mass. What they didn't know is Dennis Cuff split his pants and then walked all the way to the back of the parking lot because, as always, we were late or very close to late. Walk all the way back to the parking lot in the freezing cold, talking all this ish about it's really cold out here. That's funny.
That's hilarious. You've told me that story before, and I do remember it. I didn't remember that it was on Christmas though. Yeah. Why are things that happen in church like that aren't like you're not supposed to laugh? They're like that much funny.
Because like anything, when you're not supposed to do something, especially in a place like
get it
you
together.
You can't. Yeah, you're gonna go the other way because you're trying to course correct too hard, and it's your body's not letting you do it.
I told the story on the podcast before. I've got to find the video to post it of when Chandler was just singing her heart out to, a little town of Bethlehem or something.
I said you're in that Lord's house judging the hell out of your sister. It's not
she was just singing. The girl was like,
sounds like you judge me.
In the car karaokeing like we do singing. And
should be the one place you're protected.
And when she saw
should be protected to sing as much and as loud as you like.
So funny. Yeah. We'll miss Christmas Eve service this year because we'll be traveling, but you're gonna get the rest of it.
I'm ready. I think I'm ready. I realize whatever the plan is, you do. I have no plan involved. I have no comments, no thoughts. I'll just go wherever you tell me to go. I'll be there with our son. Maybe some gifts in tow. Hopefully some wine to be consumed. I'll help wherever I can. I'm ready to rock. I have no... Because that's what I think in years past, like when I'm hosting or we're doing things here, like I feel like I'm Here's the menu. Here's what we got to eat. Here's what we got to do. I'm like, well, like I feel like I'm always planning to try to make it, be an enjoyable day for us. And I do food as part of the celebration to me. I'm not doing any of that this year. I'll do whatever you guys need. That's basically it. Once we get to JFK, my logistical planning is over for the next 3 days.
Maybe just a side dish or something that we'll bring over to Mama and Papa's. I think we're staying at Mom's for brunch or lunch or whatever we end up doing there this year.
Wait, real quick. What maybe you made me think of before when you were talking about the Christmas as an adult, as you were ready to say something? Sorry.
No, I just didn't know where you're going, so I'm waiting to see what you're going to say.
You like this?
This is my waiting face.
It's a creepy waiting face. One of a tradition that Derek and his family did, my oldest brother, was really from his wife's, Silka's family, was Christmas Eve, all the adults would exchange gifts with each other. She put them all under the tree, and one person at a time, because this was so antithetical to how I opened gifts when I was younger, was just everybody ripping through their own pile. I got this, thank you, like whatever. It's a long process, but each person, somebody goes up, looks at a gift. Kelsey, this one's for you. We sit down, we watch you open it, maybe have a comment about it, joke, whatever it may be. Okay, on to the next person. And you get one for somebody else every time. And that's just that process of taking in the moment, talking about it, maybe telling a story, laughing about something, taking a picture. Like, granted, a lot of bottles of wine can be consumed. I think I have a picture with Silka's uncle, Michelle. My teeth are completely purple and gray, but it's a great picture. You got me a tie. It was really funny. Great shot. But that experience of like, I haven't had many adult Christmases where it is no kids and we're focused on just each other and spending the time and chatting with each other. And that was just like, it was a very nice way to, especially if you don't know people, like we're coming into Silka's family a little bit there and getting to know them. Her dad was there, her mom was there. And getting to experience this with them, her brother, like that was cool. And that was a, something that was never done in the Cuff household. Never, ever done. Like
That's interesting. We always open a present the night before. We pick one to open. We've started the tradition of Christmas pajamas, so we open that usually the night before, and then we usually do one other thing too. So we'll have our matching pajamas again this year. I know you're very excited.
They were cozy. I tried them on. You got me multiple sizes. I had to try them on.
I did. Yeah. I wasn't sure what you wanted. You wanted to go paint on pants, but you decided to size up.
Yeah, your boy's gonna packing on the pounds right now. Plan to be real fat by Christmas, so we're gonna need we need the bigger pants. The tight,
you're
like
so
the more form-fitting pants for Christmas. Really unnecessary.
You're fishing. You want me to tell you how hot
I do not. I do not.
I think you're hot.
Well, thank you, love. I still we need the extra room. There we go. We needed extra room for Christmas Day.
All right. So we'll do that. What I was gonna say before you came to me, before you brought that up, was I know, I overdo it, whatever, and so does my family. Every year we're like, we're not doing this, and then I'm part of the problem because I'm like, do we have enough for Mom? What else do we need for Chandler? What do I need for you? What do I need for this?
So do you get more than one gift for everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's doing too much.
Yeah.
Why? One gift is fine.
Giving makes me happy.
I get it. I know you're a giver. You're great. I'm a phenomenal giver. It's one of the best things I do. Actually, that's why we work. I'm a great taker. So I'm trying to become a better giver. I'm a very good taker. One of the better takers in the Eastern Seaboard, I believe. You're one of the better givers. Works nicely. I think you may give excessively when it comes to multiple gifts per person. Yeah. That's a lot.
Yeah, we've always done that. But it's kind of like a group thing. It's like Bree and I are like, what are we doing for Chan? And then Mom's doing something, and then we're all like in cohorts together, whatever. What I was going to bring.
Cahoots.
Oh, cahoots. What did I say?
Cohorts. A cohort's you're kind of working together. Cahoots is like, it's like you're plotting and scheming for each other in groups.
Yeah.
That's what I would think. But
put that down on the list of words that you know that I don't. What?
That's a long list, but go ahead.
It's a
very long list.
I did great in school.
Yeah.
I did.
I know.
What I was going to say last year was, while the kids in the car are still not listening, terrifying, because we had to bring the presents from the 3rd floor all the way downstairs past Lyra's bedroom. And I was about to poop my pants. I was like, if we ruin this, like, I will never recover. That this was our first Christmas with her and like something happened. So I say all that to say we're wrapping presents early and they're going in the garage.
That's even worse.
No, that's better. I'm not coming down 3 flights of stairs with the presents this year.
They have to go in the attic in the garage then. I'm glad we're figuring this out with people listening. But it can't be exposed where she can see them.
They won't. We would cover them with something. She never goes in the garage.
Okay.
We'll put blankets over them or something. And
Sub-zero in that garage, but all right.
Yeah, it'll be okay. They're like not things that'll freeze. So, that's our
Not
plan.
things that'll freeze. Okay.
All right, the good before we go. You got anything, or you want mine?
I was never good at doing my homework.
I know.
You go first.
I'm learning that more and more.
You know what we need to do?
What?
I got to put it on my calendar. Good before you go. I got to look.
Good before you
calendar
go.
is how I live my life. I got to take the time to think about it and find and contemplate. But go ahead.
Okay, so I'm trying to decide with which one I want to go with. We've talked about our trip to the Berkshires and when we were at Miraval. There was when we were waiting to do our cardia drumming class.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember this sign?
Oh yeah.
And it had all of these quotes, and I was like, man, I love those quotes. I think about them often. Like, what were they? So when we said the good before we go, this came to mind because I was like, there were so many on there that I hadn't heard that I thought could be used. So I'm trying to decide which one I want to do now.
This is probably part of your homework assignment.
Well, I read one earlier, but then I just saw a different one that popped up, and I was like, this is a good one. Were you about to say something?
You can read more than one. Go ahead.
We might want to use them another time. A happy life is just a string of happy moments, but most people don't allow the happy moments because they're so busy trying to get a happy life. Do you like it? Do you get it?
I do get it. Yeah.
I felt like you were thinking about it too hard.
No.
It says it's from Abraham Hicks. I did that one because I feel like it's kind of relevant to what we've talked about right now.
I feel like it encapsulates a lot of what we just talked about.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah. A happy life is just a string of happy moments, but most people don't allow the happy moments because they're so busy trying to get a happy life. Don't miss what's right in front of you.
As I say, go and enjoy the time, the season together, as we've talked about. Maybe, yeah, good way to end it. It's a good thought.
One more before Christmas next week.
Let's do it.
We'll get it in. See you then.